Ready to the 10 Count podcast brought to you by bodyslam.net. My name is Ty P. Across the screen from me is Jay Star. And we're at it again on a Wednesday, and we have a ton of, I want to say, awesomeness to talk about in the wrestling world, specifically WWE, because the first thing I want to hit is our boy Ethan Page. Dude is a record breaker, all ego, the longest reigning champion right now in WWE. Fun fact, at my job last week, I took over for a trivia from my old department because my friend who was the manager wasn't going to do trivia that week. And I was like, I'm doing wrestling trivia. And the final question was, who is the longest reigning champion in WWE right now? And of course, the correct answer was Ethan Page. And he is now surpassing Obafemi with over 266 days. Oh, no, sorry. He's close to surpassing Obafemi. He's a week away with the days, but he's surpassed the successful title defenses with 10 plus. I mean, dude, all ego. It is the best, next to Cody Rhodes, the best acquisition we made from AEW to WWE, and he has just been on a tear. I was happy he won, this week, but next week, I'm nervous. Will he surpass Obafemi? Or is Miles Bourne going to be the biggest asshole of the century and take the title from Ethan Page? Justin, how do you feel that this reign's going to go past next Tuesday? Do you think Ethan Page continues to set records? Or do you think Miles Bourne's time might come as the North American champion?
Yeah, so I'm glad you finished off with that, because that's what I was going to ask you as the big Ethan Page fan. What a match against Shiloh Hill. It was an incredible match. I love the Vanity Project getting involved. I like that Ethan is kind of like the godfather to them in a way. I watching the Vanity Projects at NYWC when I went there for the WWE ID project, seeing them grow into Evolve and now on NXT is just awesome to see. But I'm nervous, man. I don't after watching what happened, the way that NXT finished off makes me a little nervous for our boy Ethan Page. If I was a betting man, dude, I think Miles Bourne found whatever he needed to find within himself to put him over the top. And listen, the Vanity Project will be there to help, hopefully. Ethan Page, hope maybe, we get a sneaky victory and he breaks that record. But part of me thinks it's over. Yeah, part of me is not feeling too good for Ethan Page come next Tuesday, but you never count out Ethan Page. Who knows what he has up his sleeve, and we'll see if he can break that record.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I am actually very nervous. I may have preemptively put that reign into the grave for next week because, like you said, how it went down. We had Ethan had the chair around his ankle, and he said, "I'll give you the title match." He said, "Look, you couldn't pull the trigger." And Miles Bourne pulled the trigger on Ethan's ankle. Now I'm hoping that we get the WrestleMania 40 Avengers for Ethan Page with the Vanity Project, with Ricky Starks. Like, pull out all the stops. Let this man beat the longest reigning NXT North American Champions record, that is Obafemi. And let's just say it. Ethan Page is better than Obafemi. Obafemi is lucky he never had to go head-to-head with All Ego Ethan Page because he would have slapped that man down. No, I'm kidding. I love Obafemi. I think Ethan Page might be lucky that he never had to face Obafemi. But it's just exciting. I love that we have this success for Ethan Page. I love that he's getting, lifted up in this capacity. But I just really hope that they do him justice and let him beat that record because he has been the sought after character wrestler to watch on NXT right now. So I really hope they do let him break that record. But it just seems just like they're giving Miles Bourne his time.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me believe that Ethan is going to break the record next week is we do have Mania coming up, right? Mania is now in less than 3 months, whatever it may be. Stand and Deliver needs a champion. And I truly feel like Stand and Deliver should be the moment where Ethan drops the title and then goes on to bigger and better things on Raw or SmackDown. It's right there. It's just a few months away. If they can hold off and they can build up Miles Bourne to, he needs to find something even deeper within himself to get that title. Who knows? Maybe they can do it. But after seeing him pull the trigger on Ethan's ankle last night, I don't know if I feel good about it, but I would like to see Ethan hold on to that title until Stand and Deliver.
The only thing we can count on is that Miles Bourne did pose with the title, which is always bad luck. So we have that in our corner. So hopefully that shows. I want to shout out Stussy6 on YouTube, and CM Punk is still the real AEW World Champion. Dude, he is the forever AEW World Champion. No one's going to dethrone him. I mean, he's a double champion right now, the real AEW World Champion and the World Heavyweight Champion in WWE. The dude is a workhorse for two companies. And Matt on YouTube, let's go. Thank you for tuning in as always, Matt. We love you. I'm excited to see, obviously CM Punk versus Roman. And I just want to say this. And I said it, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week. Whenever Punk and Roman had their promo. They are doing this Finn Balor thing because Roman is not going to be around, right? So now we have to pretend that CM Punk might lose the championship to Finn Balor before the actual main event of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This is already off to an annoying start for me. Granted, Finn deserves the limelight, but we know he's going to lose. They're not going to do Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. That's not the big money draw. That's not what's pinned on the X account for WWE right now. It is Roman and CM Punk. I think we'll have a great match. I think there'll be a lot of false finishes between Punk and Finn Balor. But I think we're going to see the Judgment Day turn on Finn in that match. And then, then we start this road to WrestleMania, that's going to be the 5 dates, right? There's the 5 dates of Roman and CM Punk feuding together. And it's just a real bummer because we could have really, lit the fire under this feud between Roman and Punk leading up to WrestleMania. And we're not getting that because Punk has to go on a side quest. Stussy 6 on the YouTube, pin Balor. Yep. That's what's going to happen. Hopefully, we can hope that 2026 is the year for Finn Balor. And Justin, you're on record saying that it could be WrestleMania where Finn Balor takes the IC title from Dominic Mysterio, which I think would be the right way to go.
Yeah, obviously we both agree and believe that there's no way Finn Balor is becoming champion at Elimination Chamber. The only glimpse of hope that I have that could make this a little crazy on this road to WrestleMania is when CM Punk did say management's pissed off that I'm taking this match because I might ruin the main event at WrestleMania if I lose. Like, just throwing it out there a little bit, because listen, if he did lose to Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber and then you have to see CM Punk scramble to get that title back before Mania, and then finally you have Punk and Roman at Mania, I think that would be kind of cool. You've discussed it before where you missed the days of seeing the heavyweight championship flip-flop like every other pay-per-view at the time, or PLE. Would it be interesting? Would it be something that we're not used to? Yeah. And I would, hey, I'd be all for it because now the shock factor's there. Now Punk is not in the main event of WrestleMania, and now he's got to go and get that spot back. I would love to see it. Do I think WWE has the gall to do it? Absolutely not. So CM Punk is going to retain in my mind, and I believe in your mind, at Elimination Chamber. And then hopefully, like you said, we will eventually get the turn of Dom. Maybe even he gets JD involved. I don't know. But yeah, I hope that happens. And then you got Dom and Finn at Mania for the IC title.
Yeah, you can see JD starting to be a little aggressive towards Finn as well. So I think JD kind of found his side, and that's the Judgment Day, and not on Finn's side. So there's going to be a lot to unpack at Elimination Chamber. It's going to be fun. I'm definitely excited for it. We get 2 EC matches. We get to see who's going to be going after the other main titles that are not already, signed up for. I think obviously Liv is going to have to make her decision before the Elimination Chamber to see who they would fight for. So that's going to come soon. I think it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer. I think it's kind of, pertinent since we've seen that supposed to be interview between Liv and Dom, and then Stephanie kind of, intruded on it and kind of made Liv cry, which was weird because Liv doesn't speak Spanish, and some reason it made her cry. We've seen better things in wrestling before. Mm-hmm. That just was weird to me. I think they try and run with some things sometimes that don't make sense. That was one of those things. Liv is 1,000 times better than that. So hopefully next week, she comes out swinging, or even Friday she comes out swinging. But I want to talk to you about the big box that showed up on Raw that said do not open until 2/28, which is the Elimination Chamber. What or who is in that thing? If it's someone, I hope there's holes to breathe. But yeah, I liked the wrong answers tweet you posted. It was hysterical. The moment I saw that happen, I texted you and I was like, it's Vince McMahon's body from the limousine explosion. It just looks so blown up and beat up that maybe it is. No, I'm kidding. But who do you think it's going to be? Or what? What or who?
Yeah, so I'm just looking at, obviously it's on the screen right now for us to look at. Delivered to WWE, do not open until 2/28/26. So you have the sleuths on the internet that are dissecting it bit by bit. You have people looking in the background. You have detectives everywhere, right? So you had some person, I saw a post saying that the guy had a list and a notepad. So talking about the list of Jericho and the date, counting down. That's how Jericho always likes to debut. But then you have Sean Ross Sapp, who goes out there and says that we're pretty much his contract's frozen. His contract is frozen. Chris Jericho's contract is frozen with AEW. Hold on, I'm just going to I'll get back to my point. Just want to catch up on the chat. Yeah. We have Stussy.
No, go
hold on.
Go to the, we'll go, because I do want to talk about that. Go to the Cody Soul, because that's hysterical.
So we have Stussy saying it's Cody Soul in the crate. Then we have Matt saying maybe the Spirit Squad came back from OVW. And then we have Stussy. Imagine the shenanigans for next week's qualifier. We will get to that one in a little bit. Just back to the crate. This is one of those moments, man, where I don't want to get disappointed. So if you think about it, I think Big E even said it. Like, if it's a person, you're telling me this person is being shipped around from Raw to SmackDown to Raw to wherever, and then ending up still in this box, and all of a sudden you're just going to appear. So I think it might be, it's not going to be a person. It's going to be an object that relates to a person. And people are saying it might be Danhausen, but from what I know, Danhausen is also in Guantanamo Bay, and Tony Khan won't release him from his contract. So it's got to be, you're on the road to Mania, man. You're on the road to Mania. Everyone's expecting something big now. I don't know if this crate was a good idea. I really don't, because what's it going to be? I truly, it can't be Jericho, right? Because his contract's frozen. So it's got to be an object. It's got to have something to do with someone. People are saying Evil from New Japan. I don't think it's Evil. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up for something good, because then I'm just going to get disappointed again, like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and Stussy6 on YouTube, it's a special delivery from Tony Khan. I love that. What would Tony Khan send to WWE Elimination Chamber? Is it Britt Baker? You know, did he package Britt Baker up to go fight in EC?
No, because apparently she's still coming back to AEW television, according to him.
Yeah, according to him. But maybe that was the gift. I don't even know what to think. Like, I like surprises. I like the unknown, especially in professional wrestling. But this just doesn't make any sense, and hopefully it does. Hopefully they do the right thing and it comes full circle and we can all enjoy it. But you know, we're gonna be filled on the Elimination Chambers post Monday. We only have 2 more matches next to that. So is it a stipulation is it an object like you said? It's pretty big. Is it one of the Shark Tanks from War Games? Are we putting Dom up in the Shark Tank again? I don't know. It's definitely a weird decision, but as long as it pays off, I'm good.
And that's the thing, though. I'm ruling out that it's a person, because that would just make no sense. It would not make any sense logically. I know kayfabe and everything, but it just would not make sense to me. So that I am ruling out. So now the box is huge. The crate, should I say. It's got to be an object. And it maybe it's something that they know Chris Jericho is eventually coming in. Yes, it just got out that his contract is frozen with AEW. Maybe they know when Jericho's contract is going to be up. So maybe it's an object that teases the return of Chris Jericho, and it's a tease to return the tease, you know, or something like that. So like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. We have Stussy on YouTube that says we need Punkhausen on TV. Another thing that Tony Khan is keeping from everyone right now. I haven't seen Danhausen on AEW television in maybe even longer than Britt Baker. And then we have Stussy as well. Being in a crate for 2 weeks, isn't that weird for wrestling? Remember when AJ and Swerve were in caskets for weeks in kayfabe? Yeah, I mean, listen, what was that line that Jim Cornette said? If you debut out of a box, you're instantly over, or something like that. So If it is a person, that person's instantly over. Is it somehow Chris Jericho or a tease for Chris Jericho? We'll find out on the 28th. We'll find out at Elimination Chamber. I don't know.
What if we're overthinking it, and what if it's something like either the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy or a object for the Hall of Fame? Or as Matt said, the Gobbledygooker. That I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Maybe he's the headliner of the Hall of Fame this year. Randy with the howdy. Thank you, my man. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. But what if it's something like that? What if it's Hall of Fame related? What if it's the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy? Like, what if it's something dumb? Is that like going to get people's hopes up and just get pissed off that this was even a thing?
That's why it's so dangerous. Like what they just did on Monday night with this damn crate. It's dangerous because now, I mean, yeah, sure. They want people talking about this damn crate, and they are. If I'm scrolling to it like Twitter, the only thing I'm seeing right now is this damn crate. If I'm going on YouTube and I'm looking at the recommended videos, every goddamn thumbnail has this damn crate. So yeah, WWE is having us do what they want us to do, but the payoff is the thing that's dangerous right now. That's what's scaring me. I don't know. On the road to WrestleMania, they should be opening this crate at Elimination Chamber. I don't know, man. I really, really don't know.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. I just like, I hope they're doing it for a reason. I hope it pays off. It's Travis Scott. Yeah. It might be. Maybe it's Travis Scott's soul. Who knows? Maybe it's Dwayne. Maybe Dwayne will show up. You know, they shipped him over to go fight John, retired John Cena. I don't know. Who knows?
What if, I think I also saw on X that someone said, imagine it like, Punk comes down to the ring and then the box comes out and the lights go dark and it's the return of the demon. It's Demon Finn Balor. Obviously, a demon can live in a fucking crate. Let's be real. A demon can live in a crate. But then if it's the demon, Finn has to go over. It's like Finn has to win because they've done that demon character so dirty in the past recently, or however many matches in the past, he's lost. So, I mean, if they do somehow make it the demon returning, then Finn's got to win. And then you have to go into scramble mode to get Punk the title back.
Yeah. It's true. I do want to talk about Stussy 6. Dwayne ticket sales must be low. Hey, Dwayne's always a boost. He's my boy. Love my boy Dwayne. I want to talk about the Masked Man. Logan Paul, high on life, biggest collectible sale on Sunday, $16.5 million for his Pikachu Illustrator card, PSA 10, gold chain attached. Comes out, they get a big win in the tag team match, and he gets his head stomped in, talking crap to Michael Cole. I don't appreciate that. Logan didn't deserve that. But I was watching a fan video of a close-up of the Masked Man. They cannot, I repeat, they cannot say that this is Seth Rollins, because you can tell it is not Seth Rollins based by his mouth. If they go that route, that will annoy the crap out of me. More so than this damn crate. I want to know who it is. Maybe Seth can create another faction to go head-to-head with the Vision. But if they say this is Seth Rollins, I might riot. It just might happen. Matt, with the Grayson Waller or Bad Bunny, I hope it's Grayson. I really do hope it's Grayson Waller. The dude's super talented. The only thing that kind of sets me back on that decision is Xavier Woods is now hurt. So Kofi and Grayson are holding down the New Day right now. And if Grayson goes a separate way, there's no New Day. It's just Kofi, and he's just going to sit on the back burner until Xavier Woods comes back. And Stussy 6, according to SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, the Masked Man is Randy Orton. That is a throwback.
That is a throwback.
If you want to talk about SmackDown vs. Raw, your boys right here used to be in EFED for SmackDown versus Raw. I think that was what, 2008 or 2007 SmackDown versus Raw.
Beast
I was,
Undead.
yeah, I was the Undertaker. My buddy Matt was Bobby Lashley. We were the Beast Undead. Who were you again in that? You were do you remember?
Was I Edge?
Yeah, you were
I
Edge.
think I was Edge.
Mark Lane was
Mark,
JBL.
yeah.
Court was, who was Court? I had to play for Court. I actually I don't know if you knew this, but Court and Mark had a title match for the Intercontinental Championship. I played for Court and won it. And the best part, because Court was JBL, the best part was I hit the freaking cigarette power bomb on Mark, and her freaking controller died. So he's laying there dead. I can't pin the dude. I'm yelling at Courtney to grab the controllers to get the batteries. What a mess. Anyway.
Oh my God.
I was also Hardcore Holly, and I was the ECW World Champion. Anyway,
yeah.
I'll go back to
what a throwback.
the current times. But thank you, Stussy, for the throwback. Much appreciated. But yeah, what do you think, Justin? Do you think they're gonna like say, "Oh, it was Seth all along," or do you think they picked someone to kind of be aligned with Seth Rollins in this kind of payback scenario?
Well, the thing with the Masked Man, like I listen, it's got to be Grayson Waller, right? Like let's call a spade here. But with this person being masked, why can't there be multiple masked men?
We've seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
Americanos.
Yes. So I mean, sure. That person that we saw attack Logan Paul on Monday night, that was not Seth Rollins. But if they want to go the route of continuing this on until Seth is healthy, then hell, it can absolutely be Seth Rollins, where all of a sudden Seth curb stomps, or like it's Grayson. They take the mask off Grayson, and all of a sudden there's another masked man. It's Seth, and then he reveals himself. So it's like a double reveal. I think that would be pretty damn cool. So, I mean, it's possible, but that guy on Monday night was not Seth Rollins. No way, no how.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think if they do multiple masked men, I would be fine with that. But when you show their mouth, and you can see facial hair and stuff, and you can tell that it's not, Seth Rollins, I don't know. As we've seen, WWE is making strange decisions on this road to WrestleMania. And I hope they don't destroy us with that decision. It's just, I'm scared of that.
Yeah, I would love a double reveal. If you're going to go that route and you still wanted to include Seth Rollins, I think the way to go about it is this leads up to, I mean, I don't know when he's going to be cleared, but if it's Mania, that's when you do the reveal. Someone grabs a hold of the one guy. It turns out to be Grayson. And then here comes the next guy. Double reveal at WrestleMania. I think that would be pretty damn cool.
Do we think Seth's going to be a part of WrestleMania? Like, do you think he's going to be healed in time for that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, so let's just say it moves up to Elimination Chamber now. So now it's at the chamber where this double reveal happens, and now you're leading up. But then Seth would have to be cleared for Mania, and that's what we all don't know. We all have no idea if he's going to be cleared or not for Mania.
Yeah.
But I think that would be the way to go about bringing him back in. Before I forget, we did have a voicemail that I wanted to play before we forgot that. So let's get to the voicemail real quick.
What up, 10 Count Crew? This is PGH Chris TV from the Sports Jedi Network. Quick question for you guys. I know you guys are New Yorkers. What do you guys feel about, or how do you guys feel about the AEW's Double or Nothing coming to Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens? Might have to make the trip out there from Pennsylvania. Congrats on 100 subs, and hope you guys are doing well.
Thank you, Chris, for the voicemail. Shout out to you as well. Listen, I love going to AEW shows. I went to Grand Slam, the last Grand Slam that was at Arthur Ashe, so it's right there in the same little common area. I would love to go, especially at Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is always usually one of AEW's premier events, and I would look forward to it greatly. So, I mean, I might have to reach out to media, see if I can get involved and get there. I would be all about it. I'm pumped up for any wrestling event in the New York area. I love it. So I mean, I'm pumped up for him.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what Stussy said earlier, is the final qualifying match for Raw. We have Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and the original Americano. This I'm so excited for that reason. There's going to be complete mayhem during this match. The potential, like you said, the Americanos, LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, the Vision. This final qualifier is going to go absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, I love madness. More mayhem, the absolute better for me. And then you also have Stussy, you saying, I think it'll be the Vision versus Team LA Knight at Mania. So with this, I think they only go a certain route like this if they know Seth isn't cleared. If Seth is cleared, you can, but then it's like Braun Breaker's out. Is Braun Breaker going to be back? So I think behind the scenes, they had a lot of this set, a lot of WrestleMania set, and this is what happens. Injuries happen and scripts get flipped literally, where they have to struggle and they have to figure out which path they're going to go down. So, I mean, is this an option, the Vision versus Team LA Knight? Yeah, sure. But I mean, is it something that I'm really interested in? To be honest with you, not really. I feel like a lot of those guys deserve more than to be in a 4v, an 8-man, just crazy ass match. I don't know.
Yeah, I unfortunately for LA Knight, he kind of just like sits on the back burner, and they give him some opportunities and they take some opportunities away. I think we saw in WWE RAW, he messed up or forgot about the entire spot, the finale of that Money in the Bank ladder match. That was supposed to be a big part for him. It was supposed to be a big part for Seth Rollins. I don't know if they're still on him about kind of mistakes. We don't know what kind of mistakes he's making, but I feel like LA Knight might not have a great, or if any, WrestleMania experience this year. Hopefully, I mean, the dude's over. You can't deny him. He's super over. But if you're missing spots and you're not being where you're supposed to be during matches, and that's huge. I mean, especially do I fault him a little bit? But I get they wanted to make that drama with the ladder and go up the ladder. I don't think that Money in the Bank fell as flat as they kind of said it did. I was fine with the finish. Obviously, they love to have that teeter at the top of the ladder, back and forth. But I don't think you necessarily need that every time. I get they planned it that way, and I get they're a little, frustrated with LA Knight with that. But I didn't see it as that bad, Matt, LA Knight is the new Dolph Ziggler, great on the mic, great in the ring, but politics holding back. Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems that, he's kind of got the man against him, which sucks because we've seen the crowd erupt for him. And, even being at WrestleMania watching him versus AJ, everyone was going crazy for LA Knight. Yeah, I don't know what's in the future for him. I could see him, if he doesn't start getting more success and not just getting thrown in the big matches just to lose in them, I could see him looking for a way out. I mean, the guy's super over. He probably sells it a crap ton. And he's one of those people that you think if I sell a lot, they, highlight me, but they're not. So, I just hope they're not doing it for politics reasons. It might be, but I guess we'll see what happens on LA Knight's road to WrestleMania.
I mean, the line that comes to mind is always the bridesmaid, never the bride, right? You like you just said, LA Knight is always in these. He's in Money in the Bank. He's in Elimination Chamber. He's in this match. He's in that match. But in the end, he always comes up short, and he doesn't grasp it. And I've said it on the podcast before. Shout out to LA Knight for staying as over as he has been through all of it. This has been years now of LA Knight just coming up short, and the fans wanting to see LA Knight go over. And sure, he's won the United States Championship before, but that's about as far as it's gone. And people want to see him get more. Will it happen? I only time will tell. But right now, I feel like there's just such a logjam up at the top where I don't know if we're gonna see him break through. Like, sure, he's in Elimination Chamber this year, but guess what? In my opinion, he's probably gonna be the second one eliminated. It's just my opinion.
Yeah. Can I swerve us? No pun intended, to AEW.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa won the TNT championship to only lose it the following week to Kyle Fletcher. What the F? I don't want to curse right now, but what the actual F are they doing with that booking? What was the purpose? If you're trying to highlight Tommaso Ciampa and make him a champion, how do you take the title away from him that fast? Like, I'm so confused by the booking. Why not, if you wanted Kyle Fletcher to be the champion and have him fight Mark Briscoe again, why would you even put Ciampa in the mix? It made zero freaking sense. And was it just like a, hey, look, WWE, we got you, but now we're going to pull the title off him, so it doesn't even matter? Like, dude, look at Ethan Page. 266 plus days right now. You gave Tommaso Ciampa a 7-day run, maybe? What? I can't, my thought process on that is baffling.
Yeah. I mean, the decision to take the title off him really made me look bad, because I think it was 2 weeks ago or even last week I said, hey, I mean, I just didn't want him getting lost in the shuffle in AEW. I thought maybe New Japan would have better served Tommaso Ciampa right now. And then they give him this killer entrance. The theme and the entrance was incredible. They give him the title right off the bat. I was like, oh, right, I'm going to eat crow. I'm going to eat my words. I can't wait. And then boom, next week, the title's gone. I don't know, man. Maybe they're looking to build up to a triple threat. I don't know. Stussy on YouTube, the TNT title has its phases where it changes hands constantly for about 6 weeks. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. If you're going to put it on a debuting Tommaso Ciampa, I think you got to leave it on him for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents. I mean, I know he lost to Kyle Fletcher, and listen, Kyle Fletcher is a goddamn stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud. I no shame in losing to Kyle Fletcher. But at that point, just, I don't know. Cause now is he going to feud with Fletcher? And now I don't know. I just feel bad for Johnny Gargano. That man has just been plunking for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I hope I love the like the post that he's doing on X. It's like, happy birthday to my son. And it's like Candace and his son in the water, like in some tropical location. There's just Gargano planking on like a tube in the background.
So funny.
I hope something comes of it for Gargano. I don't know if they're going to end up like sending him back to NXT for a bit, like him and Candace. But talk about a worker that was unbelievable during his NXT run and then just came up to the main roster, was gone for a little bit. People thought he was going to go to AEW. He returns to WWE main roster and just never really got it going. I mean, DIY comes back together. He could be the masked man. I mean, if it gives Johnny Gargano something.
No, masked man's too tall.
Yeah, that's that too.
Masked man's too tall. Can't be Gargano.
He is too tall. He is too tall. But yeah, I hope something more comes of it for Gargano, because talk about just getting over, just planking on random cargo boxes in the back. Imagine next week he's planking on top of the deliver to WWE. How funny would that be if all of a sudden you have Nick Aldis looking and just you see Johnny Gargano up there planking on top of it like a dead man?
It's a possibility. I do want to go back to AW a little bit too. I would love for the next heel champion, whoever beats MJF, which hopefully isn't anytime soon. Dude's a freaking gem. Whatever face beats MJF, I hope drops the AEW World title to Kyle Fletcher. The dude impresses me week in and week out. I mean, him in the ring, and just think, a returning Will Ospreay versus a Kyle Fletcher for the title would be epic. Those two, I came across Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. I forget what pay-per-view it was, but that match was a banger, dude. I miss them together as a team, but as enemies, they freaking rip each other apart, and that would be a huge main event for AEW. I hope Will comes back soon. I miss that man. We haven't seen the Bruv shirt on Justin in a while, so maybe when he comes back, we'll see that Bruv shirt pop up again.
Yeah, no, you just said it. That would be the perfect way. Obviously, I want MJF to cook with that title for a while. I think they realize that he pulls numbers. When he has that title, AEW television does better. But yeah, returning Will Ospreay coming off the surgery that he had to defeat MJF, and then obviously the friendship that he has with Kyle Fletcher, the bangers that he's already had with Kyle Fletcher. What better way would it be for Fletcher, Will Ospreay for the AEW World title? That would be picture perfect.
Yeah, that would freaking serve. But will Tony Khan pull the trigger, or will he just randomly put Will Ospreay in Guantanamo Bay? What do you call it? Guantanamo Bay?
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay. Oh, Khan. I get it.
Yes.
Guantanamo Bay. Gotcha. It clicked. Thanks. I appreciate that. Also, back to the WWE a little bit. What did you think about the Netflix promo of Chad Gable, aka OG Americano, just completely speaking English, sounding completely like Chad Gable?
Yeah, it was a little weird, right?
Like what? I just like sometimes like.
I mean, we all know that it's Gable. Like the ongoing running joke is, oh, who is it? We've never seen Gable and El Grande Americano in the same spot, but now we have, and whatever. But that was, it was Chad Gable to a T. And I just don't know what was the reasoning for that. That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been anyone else, but instead you gave some spotlight to the OG El Grande Americano, who said he's not great at speaking Spanish, so he's going to speak in the language of Memphis, Tennessee. And I feel like that fell flat. Like that it was cringe, man. It was a cringe-worthy commercial promo. And yeah, it just wasn't great. It was not great at all.
I just, the more we talk about it, the more I like reflect on Raw this week. Like, there's just a lot of things that are weird decisions. Like, this is supposed to be the climb to WrestleMania, the climax of the year, the climax of WWE, and we're just getting weird promos, weird instances, weird decisions. The one decision I like a lot is, but I wish it was solely at Mania, was AJ and Becky. So I guess maybe it is kind of a weird decision to have them fight at the EC.
Yeah, but even that, I was just about to bring that up. It was another brutal, cringeworthy promo between the two of them.
Yeah.
I just, something about it is like, ugh, like just let them fight. Like, I don't want to see them talk to each other anymore. Like, it's actually ruining it for me, because you have AJ saying, "Oh, punch me," and then Becky's just over the top, and she's like, "Oh, I know what you want me to do," like trying too hard. And I get that Becky's character is supposed to be over the top. I love Becky Lynch. She's the GOAT. But the past 2 weeks, I have not enjoyed those segments with AJ Lee in the slightest.
MJF might smack you.
Listen, hey, I love Becky. Becky's the GOAT. Just the past 2 weeks, man. I don't know. I don't know. It just hasn't been great the past 2 weeks. I'm just being honest.
I agree with you. I think that character is hard to work with at points, right? Because there's only so many times you can get, more eccentric and more over the top as you go on. I think her social media posts are perfect. I think the way they edit it, the way she goes about it, is amazing. But I think when you come to Raw and there's a promo, I think there needs to be a little bit more seriousness to sell that feud, to sell that fight. And I agree. I think AJ kind of baiting Becky was also another weird decision. I think that in the past, especially because the way Becky became nuclear was when she was fighting and got her nose busted by Nia Jax. So she's no stranger to fighting, to throwing punches, to taking punches. So to me, that's where the unrealisticness of that segment comes into play, is that we have a Becky Lynch who was a fighter. She's still a fighter. We still see it to this day, even if she's cheating. So it's just I don't understand who's in charge right now. If it's Triple H, I love you, dude, but do better, because this is not the road to WrestleMania that we want to cook with. If EC falls flat, and this WrestleMania isn't as huge as last year's and is kind of struggles a bit, just imagine how people are going to want to watch or buy tickets to Saudi next year. That's going to be huge implications, right? If this WrestleMania isn't great, who's going to want to go to Saudi to go watch WrestleMania, to go be a part of WrestleMania if this one isn't good?
Yeah, and I've mentioned before how I have several friends that will, when something big happens, they'll come out of the woodworks, right? And they'll text me or they'll give me a call and be like, "Oh, I can't believe that just happened," or "that just happened." I've had 3 separate friends the past few weeks that are like, they watch Mania season. They watch from the Rumble to Mania. And all 3 of them have said, "I have not been more out on wrestling than I have in a few years." Like, they said, there's just no buildup. Nothing's making sense to them. This is 3 different people that are all saying the same thing. Like, the Rumble sucked, and this lead up to Elimination Chamber sucks. And there's just nothing fluid that they're feeling that's dragging them back in to be excited for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it's, listen, I can't argue against them. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. It sucks. I do hope WrestleMania is awesome. It's 2 nights. It better be awesome. If night 1's not good, that's going to be a rough night 2. If I want to watch it or not. Obviously I will. If it's going to be, Roman and Punk, that's a huge match. It's a marquee match. But yeah, I'm a little nervous, man. I am. We've seen what WWE's done in the past. I think they're still reeling from the huge finish of Cody finishing his story 2 years ago. How do you top that? But last year's WrestleMania I thought was pretty damn good. We got John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, even though that did suck. But we also had that amazing triple threat between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. That night 1 was astronomical. The big turn by Paul Heyman, the vision we got from there, like, that moment was awesome. And it sucks because we don't have a Braun Breaker, we don't have potentially a Seth Rollins, so hopefully they can have the people at the top do what they need to. It sucks because people don't want to see Cody win, and he's one of their top guys. And at this point, if the guys you were pushing to be the top can't be around because they're injured, who do you have to take the ball? Do you keep it in Drew's court, which I think you can, but with TKO as a company, I think they want to see dollars and Cody's dollars, and I know the fans will riot if Cody wins the title again at this point.
Yeah, it's worrisome, and they need a splash. WWE, and that's why this crate, going back to this damn crate, WWE needs a splash heading into Mania, and now everyone's expecting this crate to be huge, and if it's not, then it's just going to be even more of like my 3 buddies saying, "All right, I am so out. They have this crate, and there's nothing in this damn crate like that's newsworthy or worth mentioning." There's a lot riding on this crate, and do they end up having Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul at Mania? Is it going to be Bad Bunny in the damn crate? Who the hell knows? You have Matt on YouTube. WrestleMania 17 was the best Mania ever. And then you have Stussy saying it needs the final boss.
Does.
Cody versus Rock.
I want that so bad. Not for a title. I think if you put a title on it, it's too obvious of what's going to happen.
Right.
But I would love to see, because we haven't gotten that resolution. Rock pinned Cody in the tag team match in night 1, WrestleMania 40. My boy Dwayne whooped his ass. And I want to see that match. I want to see a street fight between the two of them, or, no rules match. I think it would be awesome. I think the people would love it. And also, I still do want a Rock Roman match. I think they should keep that on the card.
Yeah. No, they definitely should. And with Cody, I mentioned it on X earlier. I had posted a clip from our last episode, and then I believe it was Fogg that Foggy tweeted at me or something, and we were talking about Drew and Cody and how the reason why I need this match, this assumed match at WrestleMania, to have a third person is because we're tired of just Drew and Cody. We don't want to see Roman and Cody, so it's the same thing. But I want to see a triple threat, and I want to see Cody eat the pin. I don't want this third member that comes into this match perhaps be the one to take the pin. I don't want to see Jacob Fatu take a pin. I don't want to see Randy Orton eat a pin. I want to see Cody eat a pin, and then I want to see the spiral happen. I want to see the spiral start going where he starts turning heel, and then who knows, Saudi Arabia, you got a heel Cody Rhodes versus, we've discussed it, a face Roman Reigns. Hell, you could bring The Rock back, and he can all of a sudden be a face, the final boss. I don't know, but I want to see Cody as a heel at Mania next year in Saudi. That's what I want.
Yeah, I completely agree. Celeste said, what if it's Cody versus Drew with The Rock in Drew's corner? I would be opposed to that. I think that'd be a good way to kind of segue that Cody Rock match, which I'm all for. But yeah, I think personally, I don't know if Cody's going to win the Elimination Chamber. I honestly think we could see either Drew or Jacob screwing over Cody. So maybe, it leads to a Cody versus Jacob at WrestleMania instead. Keep Cody away from the title. Drew gets to fight whoever is left in the chamber to go one-on-one. Maybe they do the triple threat between Jacob, Cody, and Drew, because Drew tries to screw Cody, but Cody still wins. I don't know. I feel like Cody's going to get screwed in some way out of this Elimination Chamber. I think, Drew's always in Cody's shadow. He's trying to make sure that he does not have to fight Cody again. He doesn't want to. He feels like he's done since he won the championship. But also, I think it's fair to say Jacob could still weasel his way in. Yeah. I don't know. I part of me thinks that Cody might not win this match, but the part of me that thinks he is the business standpoint, as the TKO standpoint. And if they don't do a triple threat and they don't do or a fatal four-way, or if it's just a singles match between Cody and Drew, people are going to be pissed. And Stussy 6 says they should put the crate in one of the chamber pods. That would be, I would like that. That would be funny. And it just falls out, and then we get like Hornswoggle or something in the match. Who knows?
I wanted to go back to what Stussy said with Cody versus Drew with The Rock in Drew's corner. So last week, I said that match, if they were leading up to Drew and Cody at Mania, it needed more spice. I did not want a singles match, Cody versus Drew. I did not want that. That's why I mentioned the triple threat. Bringing The Rock out and putting him in Drew's corner, that would be some spice that I would like. So I like that idea a lot, Stussy. Whether or not they can come to an agreement with The Rock and get him there and have him show up to his dates, that's to be determined. Ty, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel that next week from Atlanta, Georgia, live on Monday Night Raw, we are having a tribute to AJ Styles?
Yeah, we are. I don't know what the hell to think about this. Obviously, Gunther's going to pop his head in for this, whatever this is. Is it AJ going to TNA? Is it AJ saying that he's not done wrestling? I was trying to watch the Stephanie McMahon interview with AJ. I didn't get all the way through it, so I don't know if I know he spoke on the gloves. I don't know to what extent. But yeah, it's weird they're bringing him back. Like, they didn't bring back John Cena after he lost and retired. So why are they highlighting AJ Styles? There's obviously still story left. What's going to happen? Is Dragon Lee going to now fight for his career against Gunther? Probably not. Let's be real. But yeah, it's also another very odd decision. Are they going to be like, well, he retired you from WWE, you could fight Gunther in TNA now? I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I just know that Gunther's going to be there and be an asshole.
Yeah, and so for me, I did see on X that they are bringing in SmackDown talent for this AJ Styles tribute show. I think there was something out there today that AJ Styles was at the Performance Center today.
Okay.
So I don't know either, man. I don't know if they're going to announce that AJ. Like, I really don't know. Like, I feel like something's got to come of it, right? They're not just gonna highlight AJ Styles' career, are they? I don't know. So I know with the whole gloves thing, I think he mentioned to Stephanie McMahon that he decided to put him back on because, like, what if his son, ends up being a professional wrestler and all of a sudden he can't put the gloves back on or he retired and he can't fight with his son. I don't know. He said that he was done for now, pretty much, not, word for word, but it's definitely interesting. Is it going to be a WrestleMania Hall of Fame bid at the end of the night? I don't know, but it's definitely interesting that AJ Styles is already going to be back on WWE TV. Stussy says Gunther comes out to attack AJ and Brock makes the save. Yeah, I don't know. I still think we end up going Oba. I think we Gunther and Brock I still want for SummerSlam in Minnesota. So I think it's too far away to do that. I would like to see Oba and Brock. That's what I'm still holding out for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I just, if AJ, like, this is my problem too with this stuff. I know it's hard to stay away, but if you have the idea to then wrestle in the future with your son, why do this, right? Maybe his son doesn't make it WWE. He can wrestle independence with his son, TNA, AEW. This is still a bit down the line for this to ever happen. But why even do this, right? Just retire. Don't, put your career on the line. Does like Dragon Lee get to fight Gunther for his career back? Like, is that a possibility? Like, well, how about this? I'll fight you for put on my career, and then I get to win AJ's back from you. Like, is that a possibility? That would be awful. I think that'd be awful booking. But like, what are we doing here? What is the purpose to bring him back? What is the purpose to highlight him? It's not like he's going to be at WrestleMania. Maybe in the capacity you said, maybe a Hall of Fame person if they want to bring him for Hall of Fame. But if he's not, what are we doing? Why are we doing this on the road to WrestleMania if the end goal is not WrestleMania?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I feel a part of me, and this sounds bad, but a part of me believes that they're doing what they're doing on Monday night because they want the talk of AJ going to AEW to be put to rest.
Yeah.
You had, especially after he kept his gloves on, everybody and their mothers were saying he's going to AEW. Tony Khan's going to make several offers to AJ Styles. There's so many different matches that AJ wants to have in AEW. And the fact now that they're bringing him back for a tribute to AJ Styles show on Monday Night Raw next week from his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, I feel like he's not going to AEW. Shut the hell up now. He's still in the house that AJ Styles built. I mean, it's not going to be SmackDown. It's going to be Raw, but I feel like it's, in a way, it's a big shut the hell up to anyone thinking he's going to AEW, because he's not. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't add to that.
But we are wrapping up at the 1 hour mark. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you all to everyone in the chat. Obviously, every single week, we love the interactions. So shout out to Stussy, shout out to Matt, shout out to Randy, shout out to all you guys. We appreciate you very, very, very much. As you can see down below, please go subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon for exclusive breaking news, interviews, podcasts, and more. It is $5 a month, and it is well worth it. I promise you. Let's go ahead and ring that bell, because this podcast is over. Thank you again all so much for joining us. If you take a look at the top left-hand corner on the screen, you will see a QR code that brings you to prowrestlingtees.com/the10count pod. That will bring you to our official merch. It has the 10 count shirt and the quick count shirt. If you buy a shirt and support us, we would absolutely love that. Then obviously down below, you can see at the 10 count pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. Someone shout out to Chris with the voicemail saying congrats on 100 subscribers. We made it, but now the job's not done. So now the goal just becomes higher. So we're looking for 200, maybe 250. So please go ahead and share our stuff. Any likes, comments on the YouTube videos, it helps the algorithm. It gets us out there. It helps more than you can imagine. So please go leave us a like on all of our YouTube videos, a little comment down below the videos. We appreciate it all. Obviously, go follow Body Slam at Body Slam Net on all socials. And then you have Ty is at TLP_maximum. And I am on X at JStar02. Thank you all again so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. We will see you guys on Sunday, hopefully, for a quick count. And until then, it is Ty, it is JStar, and we are out.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.